Schweigert.
I'm Gary Schweigert. This is where our residence is. We live at 27920 Campus Road. Right here is the truck that we haul water with, which we get in town. That's approximately almost 200 gallons. That's 75 cents worth. And it's we drain it into the cistern here, and from there it gets pumped into the house for household use. And we also haul water for the horses. That's much more water is used there than in the house.
Yeah, go ahead. This is the house that we're living in right now. The foundation, part of it that is cracked. There's also a large crack all the way down the wall. When it blows, you really feel the house shake and you hear whistling, and that's our concern, one of our concerns right now. These are our sheds where we keep our rehabilitated horses. We rescue horses, and a lot of them are aged, a lot of them are permanently disabled, and it would be wonderful if we could have a much warmer place that they could stay in, that we could keep them out of the wind and keep them dry. Right now we have 14 horses, and we average 14 to 16 at a time. Yeah, these sheds are getting a little. Right now she's showing the 18 acres that we own across the street. One of the reasons we don't reside over there is it's really not enough acreage to run the horse rescue. If we had, we could, but almost 4 years ago, a major wildfire went through and burned up 3 mobile homes that we had over there. So we're unable to live there anymore, and we don't have enough horse sheds and stuff set up over there because that also burned out. This is what we use for the dining room right now. The ceiling, as you can see, leaks. In fact, we have almost a shower in here when it's raining outside. It leaks in about 8 places. So it makes it difficult to serve a meal in here. We are not-for-profit when we do our Noah's Place Girls Ranch, and we welcome girls out here anywhere from 7 years old on up, and we'd like to make it homey and a comfortable place to be. And for me, it's very awkward to have this kind of a setup for them to see. We want them to have almost like a sanctuary where they can come and enjoy a meal with us and spend the day.
And do you burn wood, or do you have, I see some wood over there, do you burn wood?
50-50. We have butane, propane furnace, but we also burn wood too.
But the house is very inefficient because all the windows we have to cover with plastic and wood, and a lot of them are single pane, so a lot of our propane just pretty much literally goes out the windows.
We're going to move in here into the kitchen.
This is another room where we would love to see some kind of improvement. We serve the girls 2 meals while they're here. When they're here eating, they get a lunch and a supper. And I don't feel like I've got enough room to actually spread out and cook so that I can serve them a really decent meal for them to eat. A lot of them are from single-parent families and homes, and they're not getting decent meals, and we would like to be able to provide for them when they're out here.
Well, this is primarily our living room, and this is where we do our Bible study with the girls. We have quite a selection of Bibles, and also watch some videos with the girls. And we are, should I say, we're pretty picky in what kind of videos we do have for the girls, so we don't let them get exposed to anything that's negative. We have quite a few good horse movies that have come out recently. The most recent, of course, is Secretariat, and then we have the Flicka movies, and several others.
And this is another place where the roof leaks. When we have a good heavy rain, there's about 8 places in here where the rain comes through. And it's a little embarrassing when you have the community out here. We've had assisted living, we've had daycare, we've had families visiting. And it's a little awkward when you've got bowls sitting all around the floor to catch the raindrops.
Okay. Is this?
This is a bedroom that we have available. We'd like to someday be able to have the girls stay overnight for a night or two. Right now we're using it strictly for storage because this is another room where the floor is getting ruined because the leak comes all the way across and will drip in here also. So we're a little embarrassed to have people staying in here.
So how many rooms are in the house? How many bedrooms?
There's 2 bedrooms.
And
in the back, it's another storage area, but it's what we call the rec room. Girls sometimes will go out there and just play around.
how often do the girls come?
We have the girls come out primarily on Saturdays for a full day, but occasionally we'll have them out on a Friday. Because of our school system, we don't have school on Fridays. In the summer, we can expand a little bit more with no school, and then there's people that come to visit relatives with tourism and whatnot, and those kind of things. We have folks come out.
And we have to, both of us work out of the home in order to support what we're doing. It's very expensive for the care of these rehabilitated horses, but once they're rehabilitated, they're excellent companions for the girls.
Tell me about these horses. I know they're older.
A lot of them we've gotten by word of mouth. They're horses that I guess you could say are sloughed off or abandoned. People around here don't want them once they reach a certain age because they're not able to perform on the ranch anymore. So 90% of them that we have were set to be euthanized. So we bring them in. They're normally 200 to 300 pounds underweight, so we spend the first 6 months to a year of their life just getting weight back on them and getting them healthy again. And then the ones that get really frisky, they end up being what's called rehomed. Otherwise, we keep them to live out their life, and they're perfect companions for the girls to come out and ride.
One of the horses that we got about a year ago, we've named her Esther. That particular horse came to us because of economic difficulties that the person that had them couldn't afford to keep them any longer with employment. So we took that horse on.
What's your average age of your horses? Or
you want to answer that, and I'll answer that.
Right now, the average age would be about 25 years old. We just lost, a few months ago, we lost a 40-year-old mare that we rescued at 30 years old, and she turned out to be just a perfect child horse. And she was set to be euthanized before we took her.
And what other animals do you have?
We also rescue sheep and goats. If they're not 4-H quality, then people don't want them. 3 of my goats have 3 legs, but they're perfectly happy. They're in a small enough pen where they can get enough exercise, but they can maintain their weight. We also take in little bunnies. The girls love to carry around the babies in their arms. I've taken in cats also, and chickens, and ducks, and roosters, and geese.
Anything else you want to say to these folks, Kathy?
Just that if you would really consider us, we would very much appreciate it. We've had some issues. Gary had a major heart attack in December of 2009, which set us way back on projects and financially. And then in June of last year, he had another major accident where a large tree struck him on the head, which then set us back even farther with our projects and financially. So the help would really, really, really be appreciated. We don't have the time anymore. We don't have the resources to improve what we've got because we are not for profit, and this costs a lot of money to do this, but we have no intention of not doing it. We serve the community, we serve tourists, and we serve the girls, and God has been good to us. We enjoy doing it. Are pictures of horses that have come to Noah's place that we've rescued. We call this our memory wall. These horses have passed on for several different reasons. This little mare had a brain tumor, but we were able to give her 3 months of quality of life. This horse came to us just totally emaciated, and we were able to give him 6 months of life before he passed, and when he left us, he was heavy. So this is in honor of those that have come and those we've lost. We've started this memory wall. It helps us to think about them, and it helps the girls because they really get upset when a horse passes on. But we've explained that we believe that horses go to heaven and that they'll be able to see them someday. This is the only bathroom that's in the whole house, so it gets a little awkward. We try to have 4 girls at a time, so it gets a little crowded. But right now the floor is starting to rot because there's been a leak underneath the pipes a couple times. The pipes are just old. This house was built in the 40s and stuff is just starting to go.